Hello! Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Eyal Jagermann. I am a chef and restaurateur from Tel Aviv. I co-founded and was the head chef of The Barbary back in 2016. And today I'm working on a new project called Anan, which celebrates the wonderful flavors and colors of modern day hummus eating in the Middle East. I want to talk to you today about probably my favorite food product in the whole world, which is tahini. Tahini is basically a sesame paste. It is made by roasting sesames and then grinding them in a very old-fashioned sort of a pestle and mortar that creates two products. One is the sesame oil that is used in Asian cuisines a lot, and the other is tahini, which also has a bit of oil, but is mostly the roasted sesame flavor. Tahini is very, very popular, obviously in the Middle East, North Africa, and also Turkey and Greece. It's super versatile. And what I'd like to show you today is three very simple recipes, all using tahini. Back in 2017, when I was at the Barbary, Belazu asked me, what is the best tahini in the world? And I only had one very simple answer. It's this one, and we managed to form this beautiful relationship between Belazu and this tahini producer. And the beautiful thing about this is that, like a lot of these products, like wine, like olive oil, it's all about the tradition, it's all about the old techniques, it's all about taking the time and doing it properly. Tahini can be used in many different ways. As I said, I'm going to do three recipes now. The first one is a very simple tahini sauce. I'm going to make the most simple version and the most pure version because this specific product doesn't need much. It's delicious at its own, and we just want to give it a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon juice, and some cold water. But with tahini sauce, you can go wild. You can put garlic, you can put herbs, you can make a green tahini if you chop up some parsley and mint. You can make a red tahini if you do some roasted tomato puree. So in here I have a cup of raw tahini. I've squeezed half a lemon, and I put a teaspoon of salt. And now I'm going to go in with the water. Now I'm using really cold water, and that will enable us to get to a nice and white color for the tahini. I'm going to start mixing it. And the thing about the tahini that you need to understand is, no matter where you are with this, and even if you think that it's broken down all completely, nothing is lost. You can always add a bit more raw tahini, a bit more water, until you get a nice smooth consistency. And I'm gonna go for a nice thick tahini. If you want it a bit more thin, obviously add more water. And at this point, it looks a bit broken down, but you will see that the oil creates an emulsification with the water, and it becomes nice, shiny, and smooth. So I'm gonna start really slow, because I can always add a bit more water. And again, look, it doesn't look like much, but once I keep going and make sure that I have everything all together, it's going to come together and create a beautiful tahini sauce. Now this is what I'm looking for in terms of thickness and consistency. As you can see, it's not too thin, it's not too thick. It has a beautiful shiny color. First recipe, simple tahini sauce, nice and lemony, perfect thickness, and I'm pairing it with Belazu's apricot harissa. So a little bit of heat, a little bit of sweetness, and a beautiful tahini. Second recipe that we're going to use the beautiful tahini for is something called masabacha. What is masabacha? Masabacha is from the hummus world. It is a crunchier, a bit rougher version of the hummus. It uses the same ingredients, which is chickpea, tahini, lemon juice, and a bit of garlic. But instead of blending it all into like a paste, we use all the different ingredients to create a nice chunky version. It's something that is very common in hummusiyas all across the Middle East, and something that we're going to do in Anan, the new restaurant. I'm using Belazu's chickpeas, that are Italian chickpeas from Umbria. What I did with them is that I soaked them overnight in plenty of water. Early morning, I strained them, gave them a nice wash in fresh water, put them in a pot, filled the pot all the way up with water, plenty of water, and I used a nice teaspoon of bicarbonate soda. What that does is that it penetrates into the chickpeas and creates a much more evenly cooked chickpea, nice and soft. I let it cool down, and there we have it here. Cooked chickpeas in their liquid. Unseasoned. We got the cooked chickpeas, we got the tahini, we got garlic, we got a bit of salt, we got lemon juice, and got parsley just for garnish. It's real simple. We're gonna take the cooked chickpeas. Let's do 2 tablespoons. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of the tahini. Salt. We're using lemon juice. And I'm gonna finely grate maybe a half garlic clove, just so it'll be a little bit, there will be a kick from the garlic. It'll work well with the acidity of the lemon and with the tahini and the chickpeas. It's gonna be very, very, very delicious. Give it a nice mix. And if you feel that the masabacha comes together too much and it becomes thick, what we can do, and what I like to do, is I like to use a little bit of the cooking liquid and not just water, because it has so much flavor, and then it loosens it up without losing any flavor. And that's it. That is a very basic and very delicious masabacha. We're gonna put a little bit of finely chopped parsley for freshness and a nice jug of nice olive oil. And that's it, masabacha. 3, using our wonderful tahini. It is a version of a dish called sinia, which is quite a famous and traditional dish in the Middle East. We are going to make it today with cauliflower and broccoli that I've separated into the florets, and I'm also using the stalk because it's delicious and there's no point throwing it away. I'm going to sear the broccoli and the cauliflower in the pan, creating a nice char on the outside. And now I'm going to hit it with a nice thin tahini sauce, which is exactly as I showed you before. I just added more water. And then I'm going to bake it. And what that does is that it penetrates the vegetables. In return, the charness from the vegetables gets extracted into the tahini, creating a beautiful flavor. And obviously cooks it. We're going to bake it with a bit of olive oil on top. And we're going to serve it with this wonderful siyez, which is a beautiful grain from Turkey, similar to the frike. On a hot pan, I'm going to start searing the vegetables, and I'm going to add salt at this point. I'm using no olive oil at all, and I just want a little bit of color on all sides. Now this takes time, so don't worry about it. They're not going anywhere. You can just place them, and all we want is to get a bit of black char on it. The stalks as well, of course. In we go with the broccoli. We've been roasting these vegetables in the hot pan for 10 minutes. As you can see, we have nice blister color. That's what we're looking for. Now, before I'm gonna put my tahini in and go into the oven, I wanna add one more thing, which is this cured lemon. These are baby lemons that Belazu produce. It's cured in salt and has a really, really nice intensified flavor. And I'm just gonna have a few of these wedges lying around our sinia to extract some flavor and to have a little nice bite while we eat it. So I'm just gonna scatter it all around, just like that. In we go with the tahini, a nice loose tahini, because the heat from the oven is gonna thicken it as well. You don't need a lot. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of olive oil before it goes in the oven. touch more salt for the crust. That's it. I got a preheated oven at 180, and that goes in there for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Our sinia has been in the oven for 15 minutes and is now ready. Cauliflower and the broccoli is fairly cooked. The cured lemon has extracted all of its flavor. The tahini is nice and solid now and has become like a custard. I'm going to serve it right like this in the pot, and I'm only going to hit it with two things. I'm going to put a little bit of pomegranate seeds for a bit of sweetness and a bit of crunch. And I'm also going to use these wonderful Spanish almonds that Belazu bring. I'm going to crush them just slightly, and that's going to add a little bit more saltiness and also a little bit more texture. And that is it. Lunch is served. I'm going to have it with a bit of CS grain and a little bit of more tahini. That's it. Thank you for joining me for an afternoon of tahini. Please follow Anam London on Instagram. We got a little something planned for the summer. Thank you very much, Belazu, for all your beautiful products.